What's going on, peeps? Back at it again. It's a little dark in here. Hold on. There we go. That's better right there. What's going on with y'all, man? So you can probably see the title. Excuse me, burping. I grew up in Compton, LA area. When I was a real little kid, we used to live on 95th in Vermont. Went to 95th Street School. It was a fun school. It was pretty cool. My bad, y'all. Okay. It was a pretty school. I had fun at 95th Street School, but when I was in school, it was back, in the early 90s when I was in elementary. So at that time, it was still teachers was able to whip us with sticks and like long. They just had these real long rulers when we was younger. I don't remember how long they were. I think that was probably that was longer than 24 inches. It might have been like 36 inches, maybe. That was long. But we used to get swatted with them, I would say, if it was bad in class. It's a lot of stuff that y'all kids don't go through today that kids would never even know about nowadays because they so sheltered and you can't even touch your own kids nowadays. Like, you can't even whoop your own kids no more. When we was coming up, that was a problem. We was getting your ass whooped. I don't care what you say. You was getting your ass whooped. You do something, everybody whooping your ass. Anyway, we moved to Compton. So we was living on El Segundo in Wilmington. You know what I'm saying? My teenage, I want to say my teenage years. Right before I became a teenager, when I was 8, 9, 10, 11, that's where I stayed. That's where we stayed on El Segundo in Wilmington. I went to Willowbrook, graduated from Walton Middle School. Willowbrook is also a middle school, which was right across the street from where I stayed at. My brother and sister went to Centennial High School, So I'm going to give y'all a little history on the area. Well, El Segundo, Wilmington is it's really nobody's hood right there. But if you go on the back end, like Stockwell, that's like Pocket Hood. And on the other side of Wilmington, you got behind, around Willowbrook, you got front hoods. You feel me? So you got front hoods that be on both sides. But it's really like Pocket Hood. And you go down to Willowbrook, cross the tracks, you got Mona. 120th in Willowbrook area. You got Mona Park over there. My bad, y'all. But coming up in Compton, it was crazy because when we first moved over there, it wasn't surprising when I started hearing the shootings. In Compton, the only difference between Compton and LA that I can remember as a kid, in Compton, you got woke up with gunshots. In the morning, you hear gunshots. It'll wake you up. The middle of the day, you hear shootings, especially when they got nighttime. You hear shootings everywhere. You'll hear shootings going on all night, damn near. So Actually seen a shooting or heard a shooting when I was younger, which was a couple of apartment units across from where we stayed at. I remember my friend, we had some friends that stayed over there on the other side of where we was at. If y'all familiar with Compton, y'all know where the Dixie Motel is. Excuse me. We stayed right next to the Dixie Motel. It was our apartment. It was a Dixie Motel, and then you had some houses over there. And me and my sister had some friends that stayed over there, and they was having a party for their cousin. I was moving or came out there or something. And I think it was probably like, I want to say maybe like 2 or 3 in the morning. You're like 15 gunshots. You're like 15 gunshots. Boom, 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 boom. Like in total, it was 15, but you can tell it was like 2 or 3 different guns. But it was about 15 to 20 shots maybe in total out of all the guns. I actually heard the differences. One was louder than the other. It was different guns. My homeboy, my friend at the time, his cousin ended up getting shot in her shoulder. So she ended up going over by the Dixie Motel because after all the shooting, we heard somebody crying probably like 2 or 3 minutes after all the shooting stopped. Everybody in the apartment looking out the windows and all that. Like, what's going on? Like, we hear somebody crying. All we see is a lady head. And we like, you okay? What happened? She like, I got shot in my shoulder. Like, I got shot. I think I got shot. Like, so she got shot in her shoulder. And she wasn't even from Cali. She was out there visiting. You know what I'm saying? So Compton was hectic when I was coming up. I done seen a lot of fights. I done seen people get jumped. I done seen people get beat up at bus stops. I done seen crazy. I done seen women get knocked out. I done seen men get hit by cars off motorcycles and die. I seen a lot of stuff coming up in Compton. I seen stores get robbed. And I'm young seeing all this. You feel me? So I was like, it wasn't surprising to me. It never bothered me though. Like I wasn't shocked or like scared. It was just like, I just thought it was a part of life. I thought that's how life was. It didn't bother me. I wasn't scared of it or nothing. It was just like, hey, whatever. But coming up in Compton was cool though. I seen a lot of friends come and go. I had a lot of friends pass away young, get killed. It wasn't the way it is now, like where your friends and family members get strung out on drugs or meth and all this kind of stuff they got go. Meth is actually an old drug, a very old drug. It just got boosted up this last few years. But I love Compton. It's my stomping grounds, my city. I love Compton. Been all up and through Compton. You know what I'm saying? Just like, you have certain hats you can't wear out there that you can wear, but, you representing your hood. And you got, out there too, it's the shoes. Certain shoes you get caught wearing, it tells people where you from. Out there, it was really just like Nike Cortez and Chucks. You know what I'm saying? That's what Compton was about. Nike Cortezes and Chucks. If you wore blue Cortezes, you was cripping. If you wore red Cortezes, you was blooding. You wore black, you can be from anywhere, But, it is what it is out there. I love Compton though. I always represent my city. But you want to know more about the streets of Compton, the hoods of Compton, send me a message or something. I'll tell you about certain things about out there, what streets you should be careful on, who's really from Compton, who's not. Just hit me. Let me know what's going on. Let me know what you want to know. I'm out.